Hi everyone, this is my presentation on construction of Bode plot part 3. This is 18th lecture in control systems lecture series and this is the 4th lecture in the Bode plot. In lecture 15 we have seen how to construct the Bode plot of various individual factors. In lecture 16 and 17 we have seen how to construct Bode plot from the given transfer function. In this presentation also we will see how to construct the Bode plot. The main learning objectives are to obtain the resultant plot of the sinusoidal transfer function. So we are going to see if in a transfer function the complex conjugate pole factor comes into picture, how to draw the Bode plot. Then as usual, how to measure the relative stability, that is gain margin and phase margin of the closed loop system from the Bode plot. Then if the Bode plot is given, how to obtain the transfer function of the system. We are also going to discuss about the minimum and non-minimum phase systems and what is the effect of the transportation lag. So these are our learning objectives. Let us start with problem number 4. Because we have already given introduction to all the factors, that is how to draw the Bode plot of different factors, that we have already given introduction. So I don't want to repeat it. So that I have given in lecture 15. So for second order factor, complex conjugate pole factor, how to do it I have already given. So draw the log magnitude and phase angle plots for a unity feedback system whose open loop transfer function is given by this. Determine the gain margin and phase margin. First of all, we have to check for any Bode plot problem whether the transfer function is in the time constant form or standard form. So this 1 plus 0.2 is in standard form, but this complex conjugate pole factor, it is not in the standard form. Actually we have to write it in 1 minus u square plus 2j 2 zeta u. So to write that I am taking this 100 outside. When I take the 100 outside, 75 by 100 is 0.75. So what is left is 100 becomes 1, 16s becomes 0.16s. Since I am dividing by 100, here this will be s by 10 whole square. When I am writing this open loop transfer function as a sinusoidal transfer function, I am substituting s equal to j omega. So here 1 s by 10 whole square becomes j omega by 10 whole square. That means j omega whole square is minus omega square. Therefore minus omega by 10 whole square plus this is j omega, so j 0.16 omega. So that I am writing it as j into 2 into 1.8 into omega by 10. So if we simplify this, 2 into 1.8 is 2 into 0.8 is 1.6, 1.6 by 10 is 0.16. So it is in the form 1 minus u square plus j 2 zeta u. So where u is omega by 10, so 10 is your omega n, omega by omega n is u. So j 2 zeta u, so zeta is 0.8 and this omega n is 10. So it is in the standard form. So because of that 100 goes to the numerator and we are getting 0.73. We have already seen for complex conjugate pole factor the log magnitude plot, how it is going to be affected in terms of error with respect to the actual plot. It is based on the damping ratio. We have seen when the damping ratio is greater than 0.5 and less than 1, the error between the asymptotic plot and the actual plot is less. The error is as high as 20 dB only when the damping ratio is 0.05. Now the damping ratio is high. So this is not a problem at all. So we can go for asymptotic approximation. So this understanding we have to get immediately after seeing the problem. That is one. Second thing is, as usual, what are the corner frequencies? So this is t is 0.2, that is this 1 plus j omega t. T is 0.2, therefore corner frequency is 1 by 0.2, 5 radian per second. And this doesn't have corner frequency, pole at origin. This we know omega n equal to 10, so omega n equal to 10 is corner frequency. So among these two frequencies, which is the least frequency we have to see? So 5 radian per second. So we should start the log magnitude plot always from a frequency which is less than the least of the corner frequencies. Let us start at 0.1 radian per second. Even we can start at 1 radian per second. So when I am starting at 1.1 radian per second, I should find out what is 20 logarithm of modulus of g of j omega. So this is actually modulus of g of j omega. So 20 logarithm of modulus of g of j omega is 17.5 dB. Very easy to calculate this, because when we calculate 0.1 radian per second, this factor and this complex conjugate pole factor will not have any effect, because they are going to affect the Bode plot only from 5 and 10 radian per second respectively. Therefore, when I calculate at 0.1, the factors influencing are 0.75 and this 1 by j omega. So 20 logarithm of 0.75 is something around 2.5 dB. This is 1 by j omega. When you take 20 logarithm, it is minus 20 log omega, that is minus 20 log 0.1, 20. So 20 minus this 20 log 0.75 is 20 minus 2.5, so 17.5 dB. So we should start a log magnetic plot, asymptotic plot at 17.5 dB, corresponding to omega equal to 0.1 radian per second. So this is very clear. So when I start from 0.1 radian per second, what is the slope of the plot, resultant plot? Since the influencing factors are only 0.75 and 1 by j omega, initially the slope is minus 20 dB per decade. At 5 radian per second, this is going to play its role, 1 plus st is going to play its role. Already the resultant plot is minus 20 dB per decade. Therefore minus 20, this is going to contribute plus 20 dB per decade. So slope changes to 0 dB per decade from minus 20 dB per decade at 5 radian per second. So after 5 radian per second, it is going to be at 0 dB per decade till we get the next corner frequency. The next corner frequency is 10. Here we know it is 10. 10 is the corner frequency. So after the corner frequency, this is going to change its slope from 0 to minus 40 dB per decade, because it is complex conjugate pole factor. So resultant was already 0. So 0 minus 40 minus 40 dB per decade. Thereafter, after 10, there are no corner frequencies. Therefore, slope doesn't change after minus 40 dB per decade at 10 radian per second. So slope remains at minus 40 dB per decade at any frequency beyond 10 radian per second. Even we have calculated, we have done the table also for better understanding. We have done a table like this in problem number 1 in lecture 16. Thereafter, we did not put a table. Anyway, we have put the table again for better understanding, because we are doing a big problem. So the factors we know: 0.75, 1 by j omega, 1 plus j 0.2 omega, 1 by 1, this factor. So all these factors are written here. Instead of writing that big factor, I have written complex conjugate pole factor. This doesn't have corner frequency, this doesn't have corner frequency, this is having corner frequency of 5 radian per second, this 10 radian per second. This we know very well. 0.75, just now I have said 20 logarithm of 0.75 is minus 2.5 dB line. Since it is not dependent on frequency, the slope is going to be 0. 1 by j omega, we know very well that it is always a constant slope minus 20 dB per decade, cutting log omega axis at 1 radian per second. This we have come across in almost all the problems, this type of factor, 1 by j omega or 1 by j omega also, like that. 1 by 1 plus j 0.2 omega, 5 radian per second is the corner frequency. Therefore, up to 5 radian per second, it is going to be 0 dB line. Thereafter, it is a straight line with a slope of minus 20 dB per decade because of 1 by 1 plus st term. Then complex conjugate pole, up to the corner frequency 10, it is going to be 0. Thereafter, it is minus 40 dB per decade. Anyway, all these we have even seen in the previous slide. This we have conserved, this we have put it in the proper form, that's all. Therefore, when we are drawing the resultant log magnetic plot, when we start at 0.1 radian per second, we should start at a slope of minus 20 dB per decade up to 5 radian per second, because that is the first corner frequency. So initially these two slopes will be added together, minus 20 dB per decade. So thereafter, this minus 20 dB per decade will be added to this slope after 5 radian per second, so minus 20 plus 20 is 0 dB per decade from 5 to 10 radian per second. Why? Because at 10 this is going to change the slope to minus 40 dB per decade from 0. Therefore 0 minus 40 dB per decade is, that is 0 plus minus 40 is minus 40 dB per decade beyond 10 radian per second. Similarly, we can write the angle also. So we can write the angle expression, that is how to write the angle expression we know very well. So for 0.75 angle is 0, 1 plus j 0.2 omega, tan inverse of 0.2 omega. For j omega it is 90 degree. For this is tan inverse of 2 into this imaginary part divided by 1 minus omega by 10 whole square. Anyway, these two angles we have to subtract, this angle we have to add. So that is how we should write. Yeah, tan inverse of 0.2 omega, tan inverse of this. So j omega is 90 degrees. So tan inverse of 0.2 omega minus 90 minus this. So I hope I have clarified this very clearly. So at different frequencies, since I am starting at 0.1, anyway I have calculated the angle maybe from 0.2 to 2000. Even you can calculate at 0.1. So how many frequencies is not a problem. We have to get a smooth phase angle plot. Anyway, this is the problem, first problem in which I have drawn the phase angle plot, because in the earlier problems I have done without drawing the phase angle plot. That is, I have simply obtained the phase angle from the phase angle expression by substituting maybe omega g and found out the phase margin, or I have equated the phase angle expression to minus 180, found out to omega 5. That I have taken to the magnitude plot to find out the gain and the gain margin. But here, for illustration purpose, I have taken that phase angle plot also. So I am finding the angle in detail. So I keep the calculator in degrees mode and find all the angles. Here when I find the angle, I have to be very careful. When omega is less than 10, the real part is going to be positive, because this is the real part, this is the imaginary part. When omega is greater than 10, this is going to be negative. Whenever real part is negative, the point is in the second quadrant, otherwise it is in the first quadrant. Therefore, whatever angle we have to calculate beyond 10, forget about that minus sign. For example, 1 minus, we are calculating at 50 means 50 by 100. So 1 minus 5 square is, we will get minus 24. So numerator will get positive. So positive by negative is negative. Don't worry about the negative. You calculate as though it were positive. Find out the angle, tan inverse. Then subtract 180 from that. This we know already. We have come across this. So that idea I have used. We know very well that there is going to be a sudden jump in the angle corresponding to omega equal to omega n. This also we have seen while analyzing the phase angle plot of a complex conjugate pole factor for a general expression 1 by 1 minus u square plus j 2 zeta u. For the transfer function we have done the magnitude plot and phase angle plot. That I have said there will be a sudden jump just before the corner frequency. What is the angle? Just after the corner frequency, what is the angle? If you see, there will be a sudden jump. Before that, after that, if you say, that jump will not be that much predominant. So this is highly pronounced near the corner frequency. So this we have to take care. Otherwise, we can use the normal phase angle calculation method using the calculator and find out the phase angle. So this is going to be the phase angle. Even without doing this, we can have an idea about the phase angle, because at omega equal to 0, anyway this is 0, this is 0, it starts nearly at minus 90 degree, but we get minus 89.54 because we have some frequency, because we cannot start at omega equal to 0 since we are doing on a logarithmic scale, semi-log sheet. Log 0 is undefined. When we take omega equal to infinity, this is going to be 90 degree. So 90 minus 90, we know that this term is going to be 180 degree. This term is going to be 180 degree. That is why it is finally going to be minus 180 when omega equal to infinity. So this information we have to understand and keep in mind. Then we have to use the semi-log sheet and draw the plots. So first forget about what is written inside. So simply forget about what is written inside. So I have a Semilog sheet. In fact, this Semilog sheet I have done according to my wish. Actually 0.1 to 1 I have segmented into different lengths, because I have already told you how to draw the Semilog sheet or how to obtain the Semilog sheet. What is the logic that I have already told you? That logic I have used. So I don't want to make it cramped. That is why I did not draw 3, 4 and all. Here also you can find out. So here after 1000 I have written 2000, 5000, 10,000. So you can see this distance, this distance, this distance, this distance and this distance, they are uniform. So that I have already told you, right? So at 0.1 I should start at 17.5 dB. That I have already told you, because at 0.1 the magnitude is 17.5 dB. So we have to start at 17.5 dB, and we know how to take the scale. So for example, I am going from 0.1 to 10,000. At 10,000 I should find out the magnitude using the magnitude expression. So I can find out the magnitude using this magnitude expression, that is magnitude of this, find out the magnitude of this at omega equal to 10,000 or 1000. Take 20 logarithm, then we know the highest value. So based on that value, you try to take the suitable scale. So I have taken the suitable scale as 20 dB to minus 20 dB, like that I have taken. So we can find that after drawing it seems to be correct. So you can take your own scale. So 20, 0, minus 20, minus 40, minus 60, minus 80, minus 100, minus 120. So every prominent region I have taken like that. Right. Now coming to the log magnitude plot, at 0.1 I should start from 17.5 dB. Then I start at 17.5 dB corresponding to 0.1. The magnitude plot slope should be minus 20 dB per decade. Therefore at 0.1 17.5 means at 1 17.5 minus 20, which is minus 2.5. This minus 2.5 only is marked. So you will have some divisions in your Semilog sheet. So you can mark that minus 2.5 dB corresponding to 1. So make a point. Already you have marked the point. So these 2 points you join, and this slope is going to continue up to 5 radian per second, because 5 radian per second is the first corner frequency. After 5 radian per second, the slope is going to be 0. We have already seen in the previous table. We have also seen in the solution slide, that is the first slide of the question. So it is going to be 0 means the same magnitude is going to be maintained up to 10. Thereafter it is minus 40 dB per decade. Slope is minus 40 dB per decade. That means at 10 whatever value you have, for example 10 I have 17.5 dB means 100 no, not 17.5, minus 17.5 means minus 17.5 minus 40 is minus 57.5. So mark minus 57.5 properly corresponding to 100. So that point and these 2 points you can join and extend. Otherwise at 10 minus 17.5 means next octave 20, since it is minus 40 dB per decade, it is equal to minus 12 dB per octave. Therefore 17 minus 17.5 minus 12 is minus 29.5. So I think minus 29.5 will come somewhere here. That also you can join and extend. So anyway you can do, that is not a problem. Okay, so this is the first slope. So mark with the red color. Then it is drawn with the dark blue color, 0 slope. Then minus 40 dB per decade, light blue color. So that is the third slope. There are only 3 different slopes, right? Now we have to find out the gain crossover frequency. So where it cuts 0 dB line. So it cuts 0 dB line at this point. So it is closer to 0.8. So that is omega g. That omega g only is marked here. So if we take proper scale, probably this omega g will be around 0.78 radian per second. Even if we write 0.8 radian per second or 0.75, it doesn't make much difference. Now gain crossover frequency is known. Now we should find out the phase margin. Normally we will use the phase angle expression and simply substitute there and find out. That is also one way. Here, just for illustration purpose, I have drawn the phase angle plot. Since the phase angle is going to vary from minus 90 to minus 180, even we could have taken a bigger scale, but I have taken 0 to minus 280. This is 0 degree. I don't want to make it cramped by marking all this here. That is why phase angle is marked here. So different frequencies I know different angles. So these angles I have to mark. These angles I have to mark by saying this. Angles I have to say this. For frequency I have to see this. For example, for corresponding to 0.5, corresponding to 0, corresponding to 0.5 or 5, sorry, corresponding to corresponding to 5, it is minus 91. So at 5, if you see, it is almost minus 91. In this place is minus 91, right? So at 10 I have marked something. If you see at 10, what is the phase angle? Minus 116. So let us say minus 117. So 10 means it is close to minus 20, you can see. Likewise, you mark different points. Join all the points with a smooth to freehand curve to get the phase angle plot. Always phase angle plot, there is no approximation because it is inverse tangent function. So join all the points with the smooth freehand curve. So you can take more points to get a more smooth freehand curve. That's all. Now you can find that at 0.78 what is the angle, because at omega g I want what is the angle, that is the phase margin, right? That angle I should see and then find the phase margin. So we can find that corresponding to gain crossover frequency, which is highlighted with this green color, minus 88 degree. That means less negative than minus 180. Therefore, how to find that phase margin? Subtract that 88 from 180. So 92 degree is the phase margin. Now we need gain margin. How to find out gain margin, sir? We have drawn the phase angle plot. Phase angle plot where it cuts minus 180, we know very well that this is going to cut minus 180 only at infinity, not at 10,000. Infinity. In fact, 10,000, it comes closer to 2,000 minus 175. So it comes closer to 10,000. So ideally speaking or theoretically speaking, it is going to be at infinity. So omega phi is infinity, phase crossover frequency. At phase crossover frequency, what will be this gain? Already the gain is going like this. So this gain will be minus infinity. Therefore, what is gain margin? Minus of that. Whatever gain is there, that we have to take minus of that. So gain margin is infinity. So infinite gain margin and very good phase margin. So that is the best example for explaining the magnitude and phase angle plot, second order factor, as well as to find out a problem wherein we have very high gain margin and very high phase margin. Even in the other problem in the previous lecture, we have seen a similar condition. Next problem. Bode plot is given. We have to find the transfer function. So it is ulta, opposite. So we can find that the Bode plot is already given to us. They have given 3-4 regions. Initially minus 20 dB per decade, minus 40 dB per decade slope, minus 20 dB per decade, minus 40 dB per decade slope. And they are given at corresponding to frequency omega n, the gain is 36 dB. And at 4 radian per second, it cuts 0 dB line along omega axis. At omega 2 equal to 8 radian per second, the gain is minus 12 dB. Omega 3, the gain is minus 20 dB. So first of all, based on this, we should guess the nature of the transfer function. That is quite easy. We have already seen different problems. Initially, we have minus 20 dB per decade, means definitely 1 by s is present. So 1 by s, that is k by s term. K by s, that is 1 by s into k. So k by s terms is present here because of this. After omega 1, my slope changes from minus 20 to minus 40. That means what? Whenever slope changes from minus 20 to minus 40, that means I have 1 by 1 plus st term. Right. After omega 2 or 8, minus 40 to minus 20. That means I have additional plus 20. That means 1 plus st term is present. After omega 3, again I have influence of 1 by 1 plus st. That means only k by s because of this, that k by s is available. Then this changes its slope, therefore I should have 1 by 1 plus st term with the corner frequency omega 1. Then here I should have 1 plus st term, that is the numerator, here in the denominator. Numerator, corner frequency is 8 radian per second or omega 2. Here I have 1 by 1 plus st, that means 1 plus st in the denominator, corner frequency is omega 3. So that is what I have written. Initial slope indicates this, change of slope indicates 1 by 1 plus st, all that. Whatever I have explained, I have written in black and white, that's all. Therefore k by s, as I have said, so this is 1 plus st. What is the st? 1 by omega n, that is what I have written, 1 by omega 1. Right. And this is 1 plus st term. This is 1 plus st effect from 8, after 8. Therefore, what is the corner frequency? 8 radian per second. Therefore, what is the t? 1 by omega 2. So, 1 by 8. Then after omega 3, 1 by 1 plus st effect. Therefore, 1 by omega 3 is the t term. So, 1 plus st in the denominator in that 1 by omega 3. I think if we are able to understand this, then doing the solution by finding k omega 1 omega 3 is quite easier. You will see how. The same thing has been reproduced again. So here, for the benefit of the learners, I have said the effect of 1 by 1 plus 1 by omega 1, yes, that is, this starts only after omega 1. Only after the corner frequency it is going to play its role. Till that it is going to be 0. Therefore, initially up to omega 1, that is up to omega 1, up to this frequency, the influencing factors are k and 1 by s only. Therefore, k and 1 by s, these two terms only going to play a role. Therefore, what is k by s if we want to find out 20 logarithm of this? So, at omega 1, 20 logarithm of modulus of g of j omega h of j omega equal to, so k is 20 log k. 1 by s is 1 by j omega minus 20 log omega, which is omega 1, which is given as, so at that particular omega 1, it is given as 36 dB. So that I have written as an equation. I hope I have explained this. Right. So this is first segment, that is why I have put a line here. At omega equal to 4, that is greater than omega 1, right, that is 4 greater than omega 1. So now this is going to play its role, which this term. Therefore, when I write the magnitude expression, I should have k, this and this. Already I have 20 log k minus 20 log omega 1, that I have written. 20 log k minus 20 log omega. Here I have not written omega 1 because at any frequency omega it is possible. So what is the extra term? 1 by 1 plus st. What is 1 by 1 plus st after the corner frequency? Minus 20 log omega t. That is why I have written minus 20 log omega t for this. How this is minus 20 log omega t? I have very well explained in the Bode plot of individual factors, log magnetic plot of individual factors, when I considered a factor 1 by 1 plus st. So we know at 4 radian per second the magnitude is 0. That is why 0 dB is put. Right. So 20 log k minus 20 log, I am finding at omega equal to 4. So 4 minus 20 log, what is omega? Omega is 4. What is t? T is nothing but this 1 by omega 1. So 1 by omega 1. Right. So 20 log k minus 20 log 4 minus 20 log 4 minus 20 log, this omega 1 is there. So log of 1 by omega n is minus log. So minus of minus plus. So plus 20 log omega 1 equal to 0. So this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Two equations, two unknowns. We can easily solve these equations. So if we add these two equations, 40 log k minus 40 log 4, right? And these two they will cancel each other. 36 plus 0, 36. So I got two equations, two unknowns. Therefore I can solve. So if I solve 40 log k equal to 36 plus 40 log 4. So this is this. So 60.08 by 40 is log k. Therefore 10 to the power of that. So if we use the calculator, k is equal to 31.8985. Now I know the value of k. This I can substitute in equation 1 and I can simplify to get omega 1. That is what I have written. Substituting k in 1 and simplify. I got omega 1 as 0.5047 radian per second. But I need t, this t, 1 by omega 1. Therefore 1 by 0.5047 is 1.9814 second. So it should be second. Right. Now, so k is known to us. This is known to us. This is already known to us, so no need to worry about this. So, but we have to calculate for this. Therefore, I need at omega 3 what is the magnitude. So, when I write the magnitude at omega 3 it is going to be minus 20 dB. Omega 3 magnitude is minus 20 dB. At omega 3, that is, this factor also influences. After omega 2, this factor 1 plus st factor, this factor influences, but this factor will not influence. Therefore, that is what I have written here. The effect of 1 by 1 plus 8 starts after omega 2 equal to 8. Therefore, when I calculate the magnitude, I should find out the magnitude by considering this factor also. Already I have considered the effect of 20 log k minus 20 log omega minus 20 log omega t. 20 log k minus 20 log omega minus 20 log omega t. Since I have already solved k, instead of 20 log k I have put that value minus 20 log omega minus 20 log omega t. T is 1.984, I have put that. Right. In addition to this, contribution of this. What is the contribution of this? 1 plus st means after the corner frequency I have to have 8 after the corner frequency, right? After the corner frequency 8, right? This is the corner frequency. It is going to be 1 plus st. I am finding out omega 3, so its effect is there. So plus 20 log omega t. That is the rule. Plus 20 log omega t. This we have explained in the Bode plot of individual factors by considering 1 plus st. Like minus 20 log omega t, I will have plus 20 log omega t whenever the factor 1 plus st is the numerator. And I know it is going to be minus 20 because at omega 3 is minus 20 dB. So I have equated the entire thing to minus 20 dB. So what is at omega? I am finding out omega at omega 3. Here also I have written omega 3. What is this t equal to? This t is nothing but not this t. This t is corresponding to this. Therefore I should write 1 by 8. So if you simplify this same, here plus 20 log omega 3 minus 20 log 8, because in the denominator equal to minus 20. So effect of this starts after omega 3 only, that is this. Anyway, that is not at all needed for us. So if we solve this, only one unknown, all the other are known. So if we solve this by rearranging all that, so I think these two, they will cancel each other. This value we know, this value we know. So after finding this, you take it to the other side, and if you simplify dividing one by the other, you get log of something 10 to the power. All that if you do, omega 3 is 22.57. So now we need k already determined, omega 1 determined, this we know, then omega 3 just now we have determined. Therefore substitute all that in this expression. So k is 31.8985, 1 plus 0.125s plus 1 by 8, 1 by omega 1, that is 1.9814, we have written yes into s. 1 plus 1 by omega 3, 1 by 22.57 is 0.0443s. So this is the transfer function. So like this, we can find the transfer function of any system from the Bode plot. So the next point that we have to discuss is about the minimum and non-minimum phase systems. See, so far we have done problems in Bode plot, even in Nyquist plot. Mostly we have come across minimum phase systems only. Minimum phase systems are systems with minimum phase transfer functions, meaning that I don't have any poles, open loop poles or zeros in the right half of S plane. For example, if you see here, no zero or pole is in the right half of S plane. Everything is in left half of S plane only, right? In this transfer function. So it is a minimum phase system. Whereas if we have poles and zeros, that is in such a way that poles are all present in left half of S plane, but one or more zeros of in the right half of S plane means it is non-minimum phase. For example, this transfer function, this, so corresponding to these three factors, poles will be in left half of S plane. Corresponding to this, it will be in the left half of S plane 0. Corresponding to this 0, that is S is equal to 1, it is in the right half of S plane. Therefore, this is a non-minimum phase system. So minimum phase means phase angle will be minimum. Non-minimum phase means it will not be minimum. For example, instead of this, if this is 1 plus s, as omega tends to infinity, what will happen is this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, this is 90. Finally, I will have minus 90 degree as the phase angle, that is at omega equal to infinity. If I have minimum phase transfer function, that is 1 plus s, but I am having non-minimum phase transfer function, so this is 1 minus s. So 1 minus s means this phase angle expression, actually when you write this 1 minus j omega, so 1 minus j omega means it is the point is in the fourth quadrant. Therefore, as omega tends to infinity, this phase angle will be not 90 degree, minus 90 degree. So what will happen is 90 minus 90 minus 270, that is I am talking about omega equal to infinity. So this is 90 degree, this is minus 90 degree. So 90 plus minus 90 is 0. As omega tends to infinity, all these phase angles corresponding to this is 90, 90, 90, 270. So finally it is going to be 90 plus minus 90 minus 270, so minus 270 degree. Whereas if we have minimum phase, 90 plus 90 minus 270, so minus 90 only. So instead of minus 90, I am getting minus 270. That is because of this term. That is why phase angle is more negative in non-minimum phase. So when I have more negative phase angle means there is a possibility that the system, closed loop system, becoming unstable, because I may get a more negative angle because of this term. So more negative angle corresponding to gain crossover frequency means phase margin k may become negative. Like instead of minus 90 at omega g, probably I may get minus 185, like that I may get. In that case, system stability is affected. So therefore we have to be very careful when we deal with the non-minimum phase systems. Then one more classification, all pass systems are systems with all pass transfer function. So all pass, we know all pass filter means it passes all the frequencies. That means the magnitude is unity. All pass transfer function, the magnitude is unity at all frequencies. Any frequency you find out, magnitude is unity. For example, I consider 1 minus st by 1 plus st. What is the magnitude? Magnitude of 1 minus st, that is 1 minus j omega t, divided by magnitude of 1 plus j omega t. This is also root of 1 plus omega square t square. This is also root of 1 plus omega square t square. At any omega, this is going to be 1 only. That is why I said magnitude is unity. So when I say same gain at all frequencies, that means it is acting like a all pass filter. So here for every pole in left half of S plane, there is a 0 in right half of S plane. That means there is a mirror image position with respect to the imaginary axis. So imaginary axis acts as a mirror. So if I have a 0 right half of S plane 1 by t, I have a pole minus 1 by t. That is what I have written here. So this is corresponding to S is equal to 1 by T, 0. This is corresponding to S is equal to minus 1 by T, 4. So pole and 0, they have anti-symmetric pole 0 pattern. So for every pole in left half of S plane, there is a 0 in right half of S plane. For example, I have 1 plus ST1 means I should have 1 minus ST1. That means for all poles in left half of S plane, I should have corresponding 0 in the right half of S plane with the anti-symmetric pattern. Such a transfer function is called all-pass transfer function, and the system with such transfer function is called all-pass systems. Next, we will do how to obtain the Bode plot of transportation lag. So here e power minus st. See, normally this e power minus st, this t is called the transportation delay or lag. That is when I am passing a particular material as an input in a process control system. For example, liquid flow. Liquid has to flow through the tube and reach the destination where it is subjected to some other process. For example, the length of the tube where it goes itself is large and it has to go through lot of bend, all that means it will have some delay for the input to reach that particular destination. Thereafter only output starts, next process starts. So that term is actually characterized by this e power minus st, exponential term. This t is the delay or transportation lag. Suppose I need to find out the Bode plot of that. Let us see how to do it. So s equal to j omega, I have put, this is my sinusoidal transfer function. So when I take 20 logarithm of this, e power j theta, magnitude is cos theta plus j sin theta. In e power j theta is expressed as cos theta plus j sin theta. Therefore magnitude is cos theta plus j theta, magnitude is cos square theta plus sin square theta inside the square root. So 20 log 1, always whenever we get an exponential term, its magnitude is 1. Therefore 20 log 1 is 0 dB. Therefore magnitude plot is 0 dB line. What about the phase angle? Phase angle is e power minus st, e power minus j omega t, that is e power minus j theta. So theta, that is minus omega t. Minus omega t, omega in radian per second, t is in second. Therefore this product is in radians. So we have a practice to express everything in degrees. Pi radian equal to 180 degree means omega t radians how much degrees. So for pi 180 means omega t how much degrees. So multiplied by 180, divide by pi, put minus 10. So to analyze this, I have put t equal to 1. So t is equal to 1. So minus 180 by 5, pi is 22 by 7. So if we calculate this, this will be minus 57.27. It will be an irrational number. So I have rationalized it to minus 57.27 for the purpose of computation. So minus 57.27 into omega. Let us see the Bode plot. So we know magnitude is 0 dB line. So magnitude plot is 0 dB line. So I started the frequency from 0.1 to, anyway I can take at any frequency, that's not a problem. Since it is 0 dB, I can take any scale, I don't have to worry about that. Even I could have started at 0 dB, I have started at 50 dB, that's all, just for a change. So gain in decibel, this is phase angle in degrees. Anyway, I know that it is going to be minus 57.27 omega degrees. At 1 I know it is 1 radian per second, it is minus 57.27 omega, therefore minus 57.27 degrees. So at 10 it is minus 5 into 10 times, minus 572.27. In between whatever frequency is there, 0.2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have multiplied with 57.27, put a minus sign, and that angle I have calculated, and those things I have marked with this green dots, and I have highlighted with the yellow color just to understand that I have marked these points. Similarly 0.1 to 1, if we mark like that, it will be from minus 5.7 to minus 57.2. So this scale is cramped, that is why all these points look like this. So the phase angle plot looks like this. Anyway, after 10 if we do, again we may get a plot like this or like this. So that is how your phase angle plot is like this. Therefore phase angle will be continuously decreasing with respect to the omega. So it will definitely, it may affect the stability because there is a delay, right? So at higher frequency, phase angle is more negative, means if we get the gain crossover frequency, so here anyway always it is 0, so there is no you can say gain crossover frequency. Gain is always unity. However, there is a lag in the phase angle. Suppose the magnitude plot is little bit decreasing and we get a higher gain crossover frequency, there definitely it is going to be unstable. So that we have to understand. Thank you.